It has been a very exciting couple of days or a week in the tech sector ever since President Trump stood at the podium with Sam Altman of OpenAI and Elon Musk and announced the $500 billion program, Stargate. And that really excited the imagination of those of us in the tech. And behind the scenes, the Chinese were not keeping quiet. They quietly announced Deepseek. And in about 4 or 5 days since then, there is a lot of analysis that was done over Deepseek and its technology. And last week it exploded. Yesterday, the
regulation so that AI companies can once again focus on being the best, not just being the most woke. And today and over the last couple of days, I've been reading about China, and some of the companies in China, one in particular, coming up with a faster method of AI and much less expensive method. And that's good because you don't have to spend as much money. I view that as a positive, as an asset. So I really think if it's fact and if it's true, and nobody really knows if it is, but I view that as a positive because you'll be doing that too. So you won't be spending as much and you'll get the same result, hopefully.
Is to the bottom. So I decided to ask, Deepseek itself, what it means and why it's causing a buzz. And here's the response I saw from Deepseek when I asked their chat bot, saying it's the competition in AI space. The other reason is geopolitical tensions, market perceptions of AI leadership, and the sector-wide implications, regulatory and ethical concerns, investor speculation, global economic impact. And all this is playing out in the marketplace as we speak. So I thought I'll spend a couple of minutes looking at what all this means to us in the Indian IT. Because Indian IT is huge. There are tens of millions of people involved and working in Indian IT. And all these technology shifts and trends will impact us in one way or the other. So here are 5 questions I decided to answer. Right. So first and foremost, what does this mean to Indian IT? More than 95 or 98% of Indian IT workforce is in the software services sector, which means they develop, maintain, support software for multinational companies, for mid-sized companies, for the corporate world around the globe. They take on offshoring projects, support offshoring, offshore IT services, and that was the name of my book. So how does this impact offshoring IT services? The impact is not going to be direct, not going to be immediate. It is going to come. Now, the second question is, this is a commodity war over AI and the race to bottom. What does this mean to Indian IT professionals working for these multinational companies, tech companies, the FAANG companies? All of us know of someone or the other working for Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon in their AI, ML, or data science space. There are, hundreds of thousands of Indians who migrated to the West, went to the US perhaps for higher education, and then landed a job at one of these tech companies. Highly paid jobs in the tech sector, especially in the field of AI, machine learning, data science. And they are going to be watching this race to the bottom very closely because Indians are impacted. Indians in America or Indians in Europe, Indians working for these tech companies. And that impact is going to play out in the next weeks and months, years to follow. Now, the other key question that comes is regarding the corporate use cases and this race to the bottom. As I was saying, Indian IT is very closely involved with the corporate world and directly involved, indirectly involved. Many of us work in GCCs, Global Competency Centers, or in the ODCs, Offshore Development Centers, or for software services companies. Like, for example, my company, a large medtech firm, decided to explore this whole GPT race by developing our own LLM, internal LLM, called, say, our company name .gpt, and engaged dozens of engineers from Google, from Microsoft, to come help consult with us, bring in their LLM models, showcase them, and ingest a huge amounts of internal data, and created this. Now, this was not cheap. It was in the order of tens of millions of dollars to develop this internal GPT. Now, companies, executive at these multinational companies are going to be scratching their heads looking at DeepSeek and wondering, if DeepSeek could develop this, throw it out in the market for just about $6-7 million. Why can't we do it for much cheaper? Hire just one or two engineers, develop our own LLM using DeepSeek or say open source technology, do it for much cheaper. So it's a race to the bottom. The other question is Indian R&D. What are they doing? We have some great brains, great minds working for Indian research institutions, the R&D space, in the IITs, Indian Institute of Sciences, some of the top research institutions. They are going to be looking at this very closely, perhaps learn from DeepSeek, reverse engineering the technology, and maybe Indianizing it. So this race to the bottom is not ending anytime soon, and it is definitely going to happen. Now, the other is the question around opportunities. What are the kind of opportunities for, say, regular techies, for, say, programmers, developers who have worked on front-end technologies, back-end technologies, on databases? Look very closely at where this market is heading. Look at prompt engineering space. See what you can learn and how you can leverage this in your organizations. Learn these APIs. There are opportunities even at the bottom. As the saying goes, the long tail is where the real opportunities are going to be in the corporate IT space. Look closely, see if you can leverage some of these use cases, bring in some of these technologies for automation, and continue along this journey. So that is kind of where the opportunities are going to be. Thank you.